So if you're watching this video, you probably wanted to start or want to get a taste of FPV drones to see if this is something right for you before you invest tons of money into the hobby. And the best and the cheapest way is always to get yourself a radio controller and test it against a radio of FPV simulator. The good news is that it is now even cheaper. Come meet the Beta FPV simulator radio. This radio is basically going to be a stripped down version of the Beta FPV Lite Radio 2, so it does have real gimbals and it's going to fly like the real thing. It is also designed for you to connect to mostly any simulator on a PC or even your Android phones, so probably Apple phones doesn't work at the moment. And the best part is that it is only $18 US. Yes, there are going to be some significant features that you are giving up by paying just the minimum, but before we jump right into that, let me show you how this radio actually works, and we can circle back at the end to discuss this in the conclusion. Alright, so to operate this radio, it's very simple. Because it doesn't have a battery, all you needed to do is just kind of plug it in using like a USB-C cable. Another side connects to your PC. It's probably going to be the most easier. You can see that it's just now going to be powered on directly. Once you have connected to your PC, you can just basically connect to any simulators. We're going to be using lift-off micro drones as example. So yeah, it should be fairly simple. So once you're in the setup page, you can just go to the options and you're going to be going to the controller. This first step will allow you to kind of calibrate the sticks just to make sure that your drone is reacting correctly. So you're just going to have to start calibration. So just do this. Basically just follow whatever the screen says. Okay, so center all sticks in the middle. Yeah. So this is going to be the throttle axis. Correct, center all sticks. All right, this is going to be an axis pixel, not axis, or pitch. So assign, okay, roll. Okay, this is going to be our yaw. Okay. All right. So you can see that if your drone is actually doing the correct thing in here, basically, yeah, it has been finished setup and it's very simple. Yeah, all you have to do is save and it's okay. So the rest of these switches, I don't think you're able to like do anything with it because it doesn't necessarily, yeah, I don't think there's something that you can set up with. So just make sure you save it and go back. So you can just launch flight and let's go to a single player map. So I'm not going to do race, I'm just going to be doing whatever, free flight. Okay, free flight. All right, whatever. Okay, so since this is a Beta FPV drone, let's actually switch to a Beta FPV drone. So this is going to be one of the more powerful beginner quad, which is the Cetus X. You can select this one. So this drone is going to be a little bit fast, but yeah, you can see that, yeah. So use your A key on your keyboard. You can select whatever like level you want, but if you're just starting completely from scratch, you probably want to select level, which is just going to be angle mode. You can see that when you're just let going the sticks, it's just going to be coming back itself. It's going to be easier to fly. You can see that it's going to have a limited tilt angle. Yeah, it's much easier. But since like most of us, if you're going to fly a PV drone, you're going to do acro. So yeah, okay. So you can see that when we're using like full sticks, it's going to be a lot easier to fly. Yeah. Okay, haven't been flying a PV drones for a while, so okay, oop, okay, a terrible power loop, oop. Yeah, so this is going to be the similar experience to the Beta FPV Radio Lite series. So yeah, but I'm kind of used to like bigger size gimbals, so I'm still trying to see if I can get used to it. Okay, I finally just hit one balloon. But anyway, this is just going to be how the radio is going to be operating. So just kind of for you to understand. Whoops. Yeah. All right. Oh, come on. Here we go. All right, so that's basically just going to be about it because, yeah, this is just going to be a radio for simulators and all you have to do to set it up is just this simple. Let's actually head back to the bench so I can talk about some of my final thoughts about this little radio. So now you see what this radio can actually do. Next, let's talk about if this is going to be the right radio for you. So as mentioned priorly, this is going to be the cheapest. So what you are actually giving up from the full-size experience is going to be, number one, this is not going to connect to a real FPV drone because there is just no radio protocol or whatsoever built into this thing. It will only connect you to a simulator. And number two, it does not have a built-in battery since it doesn't require one anyway. So yeah, this is just going to be a completely stripped down body shell, and only these two things are actually going to be functioning for your simulators. So if you're able to accept these two factors, I do think that this is going to be a very good starting point and most cost-efficient way to start your FPV journey. At least we're able to minimize the hardware cost to an ultra low $18. And after you decide you wanted to get into the FPV for sure, after you tried out all the simulators, you can just throw this away and upgrade to a jumper or Radio Master radios like the TX series. I personally love the TX radios, the TX12, the Boxers, the Radio Master TX16 or whatever, or even the Pocket. It's going to be something that is going to be able to grow with you for your entire FPV journey. All right, so that's going to be a wrap up. Now it's going to be your turn. What is your personal best routing to select the best radio when you got into the FPV hobby? If you can actually share that, drop a comment down below so you can also help other people to decide. And I'm also love to know like what your routing is. All right, so that's going to be about it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.